Okay, so it's the culmination of the European club season. We're going to now preview the three European club finals. We're going to start with the Conference League final, even though that is the second European final to be played in 10 days' time. Olympiacos Fiorentina. Now, no one expected Olympiacos to make the final, but their dismantling of Aston Villa, I think, stunned a lot of Europe. They completely wiped the floor with Aston Villa over the two legs. Fiorentina, a more, I wouldn't say a struggle, but a more difficult semi-final against Club Brugge. But they make the final for the second year in a row. I think that goes in Fiorentina's favour. Fiorentina, for my mind, are the slight favourites. However, I will say this: Olympiacos have proven they can score goals freely. They have no fear of any opposition. I think they thrive on being the underdog when it comes to European football. Hence why they've made the final. But I will say this: I think Fiorentina playing in Serie A goes in their favour. Tougher league to compete in, much more of a grind, higher quality players, generally speaking, and of course more money to spend. Olympiacos, the Greek Super League, is not as competitive by some stretch. However, they have gone on this run, this underdog run. They've made a final. It's going to be interesting. I think the first 30 minutes could decide who wins this game. If Fiorentina can control the tempo and pace of the game and win that midfield battle and restrict Olympiacos' opportunities, I think they can win the game in 90 minutes. If they don't win the midfield battle and control the tempo and pace of the game, we could see extra time and penalties, or we could see Olympiacos do what they did to Aston Villa and have no fear and just full out attack. Now, Fiorentina will play a more structured game. I think Olympiacos are just going to go for broke in this. I think Olympiacos has no pressure on them. All the pressure is on Fiorentina, and of course they lost the European final last year. Could that be weighing on their minds? In saying that, both clubs have great fan bases. We're going to see reds and purples. We're going to have a great atmosphere. I wouldn't be surprised if the weather conditions do have a part to play. Temperatures are starting to rise now across Europe. The humidity's going up. There's the chance of pop-up thunderstorms at any point from now until October. So the weather could have an impact. Now, yes, these are all evening kickoffs, but it all depends on how they prepare for the weather conditions as well as the opposition. You've got to play the weather conditions as well as the opposition. I think a lot of teams that have lost games in finals and in Europe have misread the conditions a little bit, because we know that they're going to water the pitch before the game. It's going to be, I think, a fast playing surface. I think that might suit Olympiacos. Fiorentina want a more sedate pace to the game. As I say, Olympiacos have no fear, and they are the underdogs, and no one expects them to make the final, which could go in their favour. But we'll see how it plays out. I would say Fiorentina slight favourites. They're going to play a more structured game. They're going to try and stifle the midfield of Olympiacos, but they can't afford to turn the ball over. They've got to be measured in their passing, and they've got to keep at the same tempo for 90 minutes. Time wasting is not going to help them. As I say, Olympiacos have no fear when it comes to goal scoring and attack. They proved that against Aston Villa. And I think another thing that may go in Olympiacos' favour is the Greek league is less intense than the Italian league for physicality. They may be slightly fresher, although I will say this: Olympiacos did lose their next game following that semi-final win over Aston Villa. They lost 2-0. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Fiorentina slight favourites. But who do you think is going to win, and what do you think the scoreline is going to be? Place your thoughts in the comments section below. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. We're now going to preview the Europa League final between Atalanta and Bayer Leverkusen. And Leverkusen are going to try and go for history in that final by going unbeaten for the entire season. They've also got the German Cup final as well to negotiate. But Bayer Leverkusen, they're looking like the real deal. Atalanta, a fantastic side, true underdog side. That's going to be interesting. And of course, we've got the Champions League final to round out the European club season before we go into the Euros in Germany a few weeks later. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. What do you think the score's going to be? Who do you think is going to win? What stories are we going to see? Is it going to be a high scoring game or a low scoring game? I'm going more for a lower scoring game if Fiorentina gain control. However, Olympiacos have proven they can score goals at will. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will have some more content for you guys very, very soon.